The UN has warned that in the countries most vulnerable to the escalating climate crisis, achieving gender equality faces dire threats. As COP28 continues in Dubai, the UNFPA, specializing in reproductive and maternal health, has unveiled alarming data. It reveals that the 14 nations most susceptible to climate-related impacts coincide with places where women and girls confront higher risks of maternal mortality, early marriage, gender-based violence, and displacement due to disasters. Angela Baschieri, UNFPA's expert on climate action, emphasized the unequal impact, stating, "The climate crisis affects everybody, but there are subgroups least able to adapt." She underscored how this crisis intensifies the struggles of the most impoverished, further fueling existing inequalities. Disasters like floods or cyclones disproportionately affect women, disrupting crucial sexual and reproductive health services. Baschieri highlighted South Sudan, where the highest maternal mortality rate prevails globally, 1,223 deaths per 100,000 live births, and remains among the hardest-hit nations by climate shifts. Ensuring resilient health systems that sustain sexual and reproductive health care amid climate upheavals is imperative for the welfare of women and girls. Only a third of national climate action plans acknowledge these critical aspects. Moreover, alongside limiting women's access to medical care, disasters can amplify instances of gender-based violence, compounding the challenges faced by women and girls during these crises. We have seen an increase in gender-based violence during the recent floods in Pakistan and the droughts in Uganda, said Bridget Burns, the director of the Women's Environment and Development Organization, WEDO. We often concentrate on the externality of disasters, for example by focusing on death rates, Burns said. But we don't look at the long-term impacts that instabilities have on communities. It is usually women who act as shock absorbers during crisis. Mwanahamisi Singano, WEDO's senior global policy lead, entered climate advocacy by aiding female farmers in Tanzania. She emphasized, "Women can't just be discussed as victims of climate change, we have to be engaged from a point of knowledge." Singano highlighted the prevalence of female farm laborers in the global south, underscoring that despite their significant role, they often lack land ownership. This deprivation of support and resources impedes female subsistence farmers from adapting to climate shifts. She noted the impracticality for them to invest in irrigation systems on land owned by husbands or fathers. Moreover, Singano stressed, women can't just be treated as case studies but as sources of expertise. Women need access to decision-making and negotiating processes, so the rights of farmers and women in the communities are translated into policy decisions. Additional insights should be added to Mwanahamisi Singano's perspective to highlight the numerous issues encountered by women in agriculture as a result of climate change. Economic empowerment. Addressing women's economic disadvantages in farming is critical. They frequently need more financial resources, loans, or credit, which limits their ability to invest in climate-resilient practices and technology. Technology and training. Access to technology improvements and training programs suited to the requirements of women farmers can considerably improve their ability to adapt to changing climatic circumstances. Legal and land rights. Women must have secure land tenure and property rights. Many people are denied ownership or control over the land they produce, limiting their ability to make decisions and access resources. Including these aspects would provide a comprehensive picture of the issues encountered by women in agriculture as a result of climate change, as well as the various methods required to support their resilience and empowerment. Should global climate action plans prioritize and address the unique challenges faced by women in vulnerable countries to ensure a more equitable and resilient response to climate change? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.